This is AQMS. As of the recording, I'm up 143% on this one. There's a lot of interesting things with this chart. So let's go ahead and back up, because you want to look at the chart on the scale that you might actually be trading it at. And so when the price is down here, this is how the chart is going to look. You want to have about a 1 year worth of price activity, which we have. Okay, so when you trade a 55-day channel, you want to buy a stock when it breaks out of the channel, assuming that all of the other things are good. And so as you see on here with a 55-day channel, as the price is dropping and making these little rallies, you're nowhere near a trade on this stock. So you're not going to get captured by any of these sucker rallies. That's the importance of time horizon on your channels. Let's go ahead and zoom this thing down to a 34-day, and let's take a look at what that gets us. And so again, I trade the 34-day a lot. In fact, the 34-day is probably the one I use most. And so here we go. We see the price is falling, falling, falling. There's a sucker rally. But because of the mechanics of the market, you're really not in a position to buy this stock based on any of these sucker rallies, because you're just not following it that close. I mean, if you were doing a straight channel purchase, the first point where you might have bought would have been here in May. And what's interesting about this is that you have a nice 1, 2, 3 bottom here, and that's 1, 2, 3, and you might place an order right there to go long. But if you're trading the channel breakouts, still your order isn't going to be till here. Now, this area over here is not why I actually purchased the stock. So let's get up into the area where I started getting interested. So here we have the rising on balance volume line. That's more or less key in this kind of trading that I'm trying to teach you. And then we have a few volume spikes. So here's a stock that's waking up. And then here we have the smile that I'm telling you about. We have a volume spike going in and out of the smile, and the on-balance volume line is trending up. On-balance volume is moving higher. See, there's a peak that corresponds with this price peak. And then we have another peak in on-balance volume that's actually higher than the previous one. And so that tells you that this stock is likely being accumulated. So let's just move forward in time here. Here's another breakout on high volume, another breakout also on high volume, and look, the on-balance volume line is just taking off. And when you get into this time period right here, this is going to show you where I bought the stock. I bought in 700 shares somewhere around the 225 area. And look at all of this heavy volume coming in, confirming the breakout. This is your 34-day high, and the stock continues making new highs. And where it is today, it's at 560, and it's just kind of consolidating. I use a volatility-based stop loss, and so my stop loss is going to be somewhere in here. In fact, let me go ahead and add that onto the chart so you can see what it looks like. Depending on the broker that you use, a volatility stop loss may or may not be available for you. If it is, they're very helpful in figuring out where you're going to place your stop loss. And you can play around with these figures. I use 3 times the daily volatility over a 21-day period. These dots represent where you would be placing your stop loss. Now, if you don't have software that allows you to do this, once you get into a position, let's say you trade this 34-day breakout, well, once you're in the trade, you want to adjust your stop loss, let's say down to 2 weeks. So if you adjust your stop loss, or if you adjust your channel down to 2 weeks, well, that's going to put your stop loss down here. And then every day as the market moves up, this number is going to adjust to follow the market. Depending on how fast the market is moving, You can even go as far as a 8-day, and that'll put you back about a week and a half as far as where the low price is. And as you can see, that gives plenty of room for the market to go up and down and swing around. And so there's really no right or wrong answer here. You kind of have to get a feel for each individual stock and what that individual stock is used to doing. Now I'm going to set this back to the 34 because I base almost most of my trades on that, 34 and 55, and I use the volatility stop for my stop loss. So my stop loss is going to be right in here on this particular trade.